What's good, everybody? Welcome to another secret segment for February 2018.
Oh boy.
Welcome.
The month of lovers. I just made that up.
I mean, it is the month of Valentine's Day.
True.
Mothers and brothers and Trevors. That's
No,
not a word.
no Trevors. No Trevors today.
So
No Trevors.
we're going back and forth about what to do for our topic for this month, as we do every month. I feel like I say that at the top of the show
Yeah.
every time we record for you guys, which, by the way, thank you so much for being part of our awesome secret segment club on patreon.com/whatsgoodgames. We love having you guys part of that group. If you are watching this a month later after it's gone public, hey, we appreciate that you're here in our YouTube community at youtube.com/whatsgoodgames.
Welcome.
Maybe if you like what we do here and you want to hear this stuff before anyone else, you can consider maybe joining our awesome Patreon community. Just food for thought.
We
Speaking
like food.
of food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only takes $1 to get this video 30 days earlier.
Technically, it takes $5
for this particular video.
Oh.
Nope.
I am a part of this company. I know this
Girl.
company in and out.
Brittany's like,
I know what I'm
whoops,
talking
guys. It's okay. Normally, I'm the one who's making that mistake. Don't even sweat it, Britt. Because
not.
this month is the month of lovers, which means today we are talking about our favorite romances in video games.
Oh, this is a secret segment. This is not an exclusive video.
No,
Correct.
this is a secret segment.
The
She knows
exclusive
what's
video
up.
is
She
a
knows.
different video.
That's
but
$1 a month.
yes,
It is.
that is $1 a month.
$1.
And you also get access to our exclusive stream for $1 a month.
And our feed. It's
Yes.
great.
So much. $1 gets you a lot.
Yeah.
But not this, so I don't know why I'm telling you. Oh, well, actually, because it goes live eventually for other people.
Now that we've gotten that even more confusing for everybody, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Romance.
Romance. The thing
So-
that has ruined me for life.
BioWare.
Just
Oh my
meaning
God.
like no, because it's like Disney movies. It's more of what I mean in that sense. Like you're built up to believe a certain thing, right? Like if you hit the right answers, the person's always gonna be there for you, right?
And animals
Ah.
can talk and do your hair in the
Right.
morning.
There's
Yeah.
If only that part. I mean, honestly, I would take that over romance any day. If small animals would come and do my hair every day, sign me
Oh
up.
my God. I want that so bad. I am such not a morning person. I would love a fleet of animals.
I just can't do my own hair, so like
Oh.
if small animals could do it for me, that'd be brilliant. Anyways,
sing.
off topic.
You want to be
We
like
get it.
Sleeping Beauty or Snow White or
Snow-
Cinderella.
Was it Snow White?
Cinderella
All
was
of
the
them?
one that did her. They made her dress.
Yeah, Cinderella had the mice make her clothes.
Snow White had people dress her, like small birds dress her.
No, wasn't that Sleeping Beauty?
I don't know.
Sleeping Beauty,
Anyway.
the fairies made the dress.
Anyway,
Make it
video
red, make it
game,
blue.
romance, not animals making your hair or making life easier for you. People of the sex you prefer making it harder for you. Romance. Romance.
It's true.
What's your favorite game romance, Andrea?
What was the one where you were like, yeah,
What?
sign me up for some of that?
What happened? What'd I do?
In my head, the producer in me is being like, should we just re-record this opening all
No.
over again?
No. Absolutely not.
Roll with the shit
Absolutely not.
show.
Absolutely not. This is who we are.
You're right. This is who we
It
are.
is.
We
So
can't deny it.
romances. There's a lot of them in video games, but I still think it's an area that's not explored enough. Because a lot of times when you think about video games, it's like shooting and violence and fantasy worlds, but the tender moments between characters is sometimes something that isn't as explored in depth enough as I would like to see. Of course, I think when you think romances, one of the major franchises that comes to mind is Mass Effect because it's a BioWare game and BioWare is excellent at developing narrative and developing these interactions between characters. But there's no standout romance in that game because you get to create your own romance. So when I think of like all-time greatest romances, I have to think of Mario and Peach. So,
But she's running away from him.
no,
constantly.
listen, hold on. Before you debunked my argument,
Ooh, debunk.
debunk
But
Debunked.
is the word I was looking for.
Debunked cake.
because listen, I know there's a
gonna
lot of
debunk
arguments
your
against
argument.
this, but he would not continue to chase her as Bowser continues to capture her if he wasn't deeply in love with her, whether that be romantic or platonic. That could maybe be argued. I see it as a romantic relationship where he cares so much for her that he will go to the dark side of the moon to save her.
Are you
me an
saying you've never had a man in your life who, regardless of how many times you said no, just kept coming?
What?
Like I'm just saying, like, even in a weird alternate universe where Mario is dead.
No, that's the actual
No,
universe.
I know, but I'm just saying, go with me.
If we're,
Come on,
if we're
Alexa.
using Odyssey canon.
Come on,
What's so sad? I'm saying, let's say that maybe Peach really likes Bowser, and that's why she keeps allowing herself to
Yeah.
get kidnapped. And Mario is just a schmuck and like keeps coming after her, even though she doesn't want him to.
When has Peach reciprocated? Give me one
That's the
example of
point.
her like giving him a kiss or being like, "Hey Mario, let's do it." Like, when has she
Let's do it.
I don't see her reciprocating at all. What's going on? Where is it? Because there's no official proof or whatever. What you are talking about is not a romance but a ship. And that's another segment entirely.
A ship?
Yeah, like you ship them.
Shipping.
Your
Relation shipping.
Ship.
You ship Mario and Peach to you. They are your couple. Like,
Think of like fan fiction.
Like-
Think of
like-
it like that way.
like you pick your favorite Mass Effect person to bang, and that is your ship.
have there
Because
been
it's
no,
not official.
Have
canon.
there been no instances of Peach kissing Mario?
Like,
I feel like
sure there
maybe-
have
Maybe
been.
I
on the
must look
cheek.
this
Has
up.
Peach ever kissed Mario? That frigid bitch.
I feel like there's a point. No, it's. I think it's. Is it Super Mario RPG? No. It's a game where I think
she
his
gave him
face,
cake.
His face blushes.
Okay.
I feel
okay,
like
his face might, but like again, what is she doing?
I don't have my phone, so I can't look this up in the moment. But I feel like there's a moment where, what am I thinking of? Where a video game character gets kissed. I want to say it's Mario, and his face just flushes red.
That's
yeah,
like,
but again, like he could have. I don't dispute
Crap.
the fact that he has feelings for her. I don't dispute that whatsoever.
Yes.
He obviously does. What I'm disputing is the fact that it's reciprocated because, like you said, she's never really. She's like Mario, no, but like, so what? Like, I
Right.
wouldn't want anybody to fall off a ship from a very
Right.
high height. Like that's. I don't want murder. So
Oh wait,
she
I know
could
what I'm
be-
talking about. I'm sorry.
no, go for it.
Go
What
for
is
it.
it?
It's when Mario, I think, showers in Super Mario RPG, and he walks out and his face is red.
showers?
There's a hot shower you can take, or a
Oh.
hot
Okay,
bath.
so that's not a
that's
sexual
not
related.
a sexual. No, I'm
No.
sorry.
No,
it's
it's
not
fine.
like the showers in Mass Effect.
No.
Figured it out.
Wink.
I mean,
Wink,
maybe
wink.
maybe she, I don't know, maybe she realizes that so long as she keeps him believing he has a chance with her, he'll keep coming to rescue her because she keeps getting kidnapped and all of this crazy stuff. And so Super Mario Odyssey,
She keeps him
Andrea
stringing
kind
along.
of, can we talk about that game yet? Because you kind of,
I haven't beaten it, but that's
What do you
fine.
mean? I finished it.
She finished it. I'm
right,
the
but
only
are
one
we
that
allowed to
hasn't.
talk spoilers?
From the feedback I have read, people are not a fan of spoilers if it has not been that much time. If not much time has passed.
Okay, it came out in
So,
October, so
yeah, so we should
we'll wait a
probably
little
stay
while
away
longer.
from spoilers.
Okay.
Because the big spoiler there is the final scene between them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
You can tell me after the podcast.
yes.
right, but still, Peach has never.
She's
Reciprocate.
never been like, oh my God, Mario, I love you. Thank you so much. Like, even when you find
Right.
her in one of the original ones, she's like, your princess is in another castle. LOL, just kidding. It's me.
Yeah, and she's not like, hey, Mario, I deeply appreciate you went out of your way and put yourself in harm's way to come and rescue me.
Once again.
Once again, she doesn't even thank him. Girl is straight up using him.
So when she's screaming Mario, I think she's just saying help me.
Yeah.
That person.
That's her.
fuck, the
that's
only
the way
person who
she-
actually cares about me is
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about. Like, that's the emotionally manipulative part of Peach.
She's a
that is
sociopath.
using. Oh yes.
Does she kiss?
Peach is a
She's
total sociopath.
Yes, she is.
Have you found any
Oh my
instances
God.
of Peach kissing Mario?
I found that she had her own adult film parody,
Oh,
She did.
which is not what I wanted to find.
So she
but
doesn't kiss him in
Rule
Mario
34.
64.
thing.
Rule
She had my
34. If it
phone.
exists, there's a porn.
that's amazing.
She's in more Mario games than any other
Yeah.
female character, and she's also been in Legend of Zelda, which I did not know.
I
But
didn't
has
know
she
that.
ever given Mario a smackaroo
I
for
have not.
his troubles?
Listen,
And not on the cheek, on the lips.
the Wikia
the
slash
lips.
fanfic wormhole that is this question on Google will take me more than the few minutes I've been searching to find.
That's fair.
Oh,
here we
here's
go.
what I'll
But
say.
this is what I was thinking of. In Mario 64, she kisses him on the tip of his nose.
Okay, so
On
she
the
kisses
nose?
him on the nose.
Who kisses anybody on the nose
Okay,
except
listen.
a grandmother?
Hold on.
To, like-
For 1 second, we were talking about some of our favorite romances. I would prefer
We destroyed this
if you
conversation.
cold-hearted bitches would not tear apart my favorite fucking romance, okay? How about instead...
Oh, this is what I'm sorry. Super Mario World. She kisses him and he blushes.
On
Okay,
the
so
lips.
twice.
On the lips?
So how about instead of
More
you
than
tearing
just that.
apart my vision of Mario and Peach together,
No, there's
you
more
tell me
games.
about your favorite romance, Steimer.
So that you can rip it out.
Okay, there are
No.
multiple
Well,
instances of Mario
Welcome
kissing
to my
Peach.
life right
no,
now.
it's fine. Okay, remember earlier today when we were sitting at the kitchen table and I was throwing out ideas and you kept tearing them all down?
No, there
Okay,
was
guys,
one
we're not-
idea.
we are not
There was
doing
one
this here.
idea.
I don't
One.
actually
February
mind.
is
I
the
don't
month of
mind.
love.
February
Y'all
is the month
sit
of
down.
everyone hates each
I will
other.
turn the
We need to
car
cut
around.
this shit and start over.
Do it.
So I know you were like, Mass Effect doesn't count because it's whatever.
No, it does count.
I'm count. I don't care about Mass. I mean, I do care about Mass
She
Effect.
cares about Dragon Age.
I care.
Girl.
Yeah, girl
Okay.
knows.
You and I.
Girl knows. So a girl knows. Is that like
I
some
do
Game
know.
of Thrones? Anyways, Cullen, obviously,
Oh, that's your number one.
because to me it is the most mature of all of the BioWare romances, and what I mean by that is that the thing that screws with my head and that has made me believe that this is normal behavior and it is not normal behavior, and if anybody does this to you in real life, run away, is the thing that most of them do, which is the push pull. The I love you but I can't be with you, and you're like, well then okay, bye, like that's how it should be, but then you're always like, but, and you like keep, as the player, you keep going with most of those, and then eventually like they cave or they tell you what's really going on, and then you go live happily ever after. That's not how it works in real life, folks. Please, if anybody does this to you, again, walk away. But with Cullen, it is the opposite. And you're basically like, hey man, I like you. And he's like, I like you. And then you just go have a wonderful, happy fucking romance, and it's great. And you're like, thank God there's like a reasonable romance in this world, because I was starting to think that
Now, he's
I was
pretty
crazy.
apprehensive, though, at first, right?
He-
'Cause he is the
he's
Templar.
He's not very apprehensive. He's mostly worried about like,
He's addicted to, is it lithium?
no, it's not lithium
What the
batteries.
fuck?
It's delirium.
Is he crushing up
Some
lithium
kind of
batteries?
substance that
Is
he's
he like the
huffing up.
Energizer Bunny snorting batteries in the corner?
I knew it was an L
He
word.
never pulls away from you at that point. He shares the addiction with you. He's like, I've been struggling with this.
Thank you.
And sharing the addiction with the problems he has with the addiction with you. Whereas if he was a Blackwell, for instance, and was like, by the way,
don't
I
get me
murdered this family. Do you mind?
Don't get me started on Blackwell. He was terrible.
But it's not just like, obviously
No.
not in all of the Dragon Ages. Like, I think there's always that element of like there's always like a drawback to any of them. Even with Alistair, if you were anything other than a human royal,
Right.
that kind of sucked because you had to be the concubine essentially.
That's true.
And so that's why, and I just appreciate the Cullen romance so much, because I'm like, this is a grown-up relationship. You both have feelings for each other. You admit them for each other. You have sex on a table, which is awesome. And like,
After you climb up the ladder awkwardly.
and no, that was downstairs.
Which
And then
one's
you-
the one where
we-
you go up to the bunk?
So like he swipes everything off
Right.
the table, all his work. You do it on the table, and then like it's implied you climb up and go to bed, like sleep.
Oh, I always
Which
thought
is
they
kind
did
of
it
awkward.
on upstairs, and I always thought that would be a very awkward, funny scene. Like, okay, I'm naked, I'm gonna climb up this ladder, climb up
just
behind
climb
me,
up.
baby girl, and then you go up and do the thing. Okay.
That would be really funny.
Yeah. I think the very first romance in video games that really like got me going, not that got my brain going, that made me feel things, was Final Fantasy IX, Dagger and Zidane.
Dagger? Is it no? But I don't know anything about this character.
That's
Please explain.
Garnet.
Is it a? What does it
Dagger.
look
She's
like?
It's a girl.
It's a girl. And I think that was because I really
Dagger,
liked
dagger.
Zidane's like whimsical, like playboy kind of attitude he had, and I thought Dagger was like a little too like him for her. For
Wait, so
him.
her
She
name
was a
is not
weak ass
Garnet?
bitch.
Garnet
I
She-
just started the game.
She changes her name.
for
Okay.
reasons we won't-
You'll see.
you'll
Is
see.
it like a Sandy thing? Like a Grease? Like she's like, I'm Sandy D, Sandra D, and then she's
No,
like, I'm
she's-
Sandy, and then she gets
Yeah.
the black leather leggings.
No, she's very, very strong-willed. She's just very fragile.
Okay.
right? And I always thought because Zidane was my very first like major
And
video
easily
game crush,
offended.
and I always thought I could be a better
mm,
romance option, but The one
He's got a tail though.
And
I was
And-
tails, it ain't.
It's not like a little tail too. It's like a long ass
It's a
monkey
long
tail.
wrong with
tail.
tails?
No, he's got a monkey
I was
tail?
13. He's 16. It just seemed right at the time.
That's okay.
Thanks.
I like Ninja Turtles, so I shouldn't
Nah,
judge.
I didn't.
I get it.
Not in that way.
No, I thought I was gonna marry Donatello. I thought that was a realistic goal in life.
It's okay.
We've had this conversation
I
about
also
husbandos.
had a crush on a person. At least mine was a man most of the time.
Yeah, mine was 100% a turtle. Didn't matter. He
Man,
was
most
smart.
of the
He
time.
didn't. He didn't
Now I'm
fucking
like
come
racking my
for-
brain. Like, have I also had sexual feelings for any animal beings before?
Anthropomorphic animals.
Anthropomorphic
Ooh.
beings.
Well, I mean, Zidane has a tail.
But he's a
So-
but
Is
he's
he
a
like,
human.
Is he like a human with a tail?
He's a human with a monkey tail.
Literally called
Would you
a
call him a
tailed
human, though?
human.
Well, I don't want to ruin that for her. Okay.
But the
You're
first
not gonna
like
ruin it for me. That game is old. Okay, the game came out in 2007. The spoiler
no,
period is gone.
2001.
I meant 2001. Sorry.
I was like 2007. I
You're
graduated
17
college.
years
That's not
late.
long ago.
Yes.
That's fine.
No,
It's fine.
seven-
We're not going
seven
to spoil
years.
it for you.
But the first video game that really like, holy crap, like this is the romance that I created was Dragon Age Origins.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to play as a human royal female.
Noble, yeah, whatever.
Noble, whatever the hell it was called. And Alistair completely like knocked me off of my feet. Is that even a saying people
Yeah.
use? Okay, cool.
It is.
And back then I had just started my own personal video game blog and people actually made fun of me. Not made fun of me. It was kind of like my shtick to have like the crush on Alistair. And everybody like, what do you like about him so much? And I think it was just how he was so naive, but so like innocent, but so attractive.
And sarcastic, but in
And
a good way.
sarcastic for those graphics. And he had a sense of humor about him. And I remember like not like I couldn't wait to play because I couldn't wait to see what my next interaction with what would be with him, you know, like the Alistair approves +4 or whatever the hell it would be. And whenever I would screw up a decision, I would like load a game and I would like make sure I could get like the maximum like approval points. That was like probably the most like momentous.
The best part about Dragon Age Origins was the fact that you could make out with Alistair in front of other people.
Oh, that's right, you could.
And so Morgan in your party hates him.
Yeah.
And so, but you can like go up to Morgan and be like, come here, Alistair, and like make out with him. And then she's like, ew, I didn't need to see that.
That's right. I forgot. Oh my god, the game is so good.
It's amazing.
Have you played that? Anyone else played that? Dragon Age Origins? No. Okay,
I think I played the first couple of hours of it and then quit.
that's fair.
I
Not
can't
for
remember
everyone.
why. I think I didn't like the combat.
It's very tactical.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Ray.
You know, I've been thinking about this question since we decided this was going to be our secret segment.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
The Queen of Husbandos?
Yeah, I mean, I have husbandos, but I can't think of one actual like in-game relationship that I have been like,
It can.
yes.
What if it's like a bromance, or like what? Isn't there a Final Fantasy?
I ship Gladio and Ignis. I think
Okay.
they're
That's
secret.
right.
I think they're secret lovers.
You do have that.
Because of in the in-game dialogue, and when you're in combat and when you are having conversations after the turning point in the story when Ignis goes blind, Gladio is just so fucking hung up on Ignis and just talks about him all the time. And I'm like, you guys are probably involved because you're annoying me and all you care about is Ignis. So I ship them.
What
I
about
ship
Tifa
them.
and Cloud?
No,
Whoa! Wow, that was.
they're also not together.
That's not a ship.
They're not together. They're friends. It's
There's some sexual tension implied there, and
Yeah.
there is a scene that implies that maybe they got diggity down.
Yeah,
But-
there's a lot of implied sexual tension, but and she very clearly cares about him romantically, but he doesn't. He is not. Cloud has
What a
committed. Cloud committed to Aerith, and then she died.
Right.
There's also a Monkey Island relationship on this list.
Yes, there is.
Guybrush Threepwood and
Guybrush
Elaine.
and Elaine, Governor Marley. Yeah,
I can't think of one.
Nothing in Fire Emblem.
the best
Well,
part.
my favorite person,
Takumi.
my favorite
Takumi.
person to romance in all the Fire Emblem games was Takumi, because he hated you at first,
You
and
know
you
how-
really have to like work to win him over. And when he does, he's like, "I was an asshole. You're cute. Let's bang."
What about Persona?
Which one?
Any of them? Any of the ones you've played? Nobody sticks out.
They were all great.
That's not a thing. You
I
can
romanced
say.
Rise in 4,
Oh my God, Rise, best waifu.
Makoto in 5.
I
Yeah.
I think the problem with Persona romances, they're all great characters, but after playing like a BioWare game where you like get the point where like you just meet someone, more often than not. You get to know them, you get to flirt with them, you get to like really flirt with them, and then you get to bang them, and then you have like this super like angsty moment at some point. The Persona series never goes there.
Well, no,
And-
because you're in like high school.
Well, okay, sure.
Right. You definitely in high school don't have the same level of depth of understanding of what a real relationship is. I mean, you have, I'm not going to say you don't know how to love, because I was fully in love in my relationship in high school for sure. But it's a different type of love than the love you get a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades later in your life.
Right, and that's totally fair, but I prefer the more like mature, fleshed out, like
Fleshed
Yeah.
out.
fleshed
Oh,
out.
damn.
Damn,
Fleshed.
girl, what's on my mind?
Fleshed.
Lithium batteries and fleshed out. It's a hell of a night we're having over here.
What
Yeah, I
do
don't
you
know.
think
Maybe I'm
about
broken.
Elena and Nathan from Uncharted?
He's a terrible husband.
Yes.
And a terrible boyfriend. No.
He's awful to her.
He's awful.
And I really didn't like how in Uncharted 4 they kind of pegged her as like the naggy. Or,
Yeah,
actually,
that
most
bothered
of
me.
the
That bothered me
games.
really badly that they made her like the naggy wife.
naggy
Like,
wife.
oh, Nathan just wants to go on adventures. No, he's lying to her. He's hiding things from her. And he's doing the thing he expressly told her he would not do that puts not only him in danger, but his family in danger. Shitty ass husband.
That's
Yeah.
pretty crappy. We do not know though how he treats her during that period during the end of the game, and then when it fast forwards to the epilogue, right, where they have their child. Maybe he's improved. Maybe not.
Right,
like-
but what we see in the game,
But
he's
what
a
we see in the
butthole.
game-
See,
Yeah,
it's
he's very
not
selfish.
great.
Very selfish.
He acts selfishly, and she puts up with it. And not only that, like forgives him immediately, or you're like whenever she finds him, and I'm like, how would bitch slap him?
Are we saying that the only good romances are really the ones that you make with other characters? That there have been no written good
What
romances
about
in video games?
What about Aya and Bayek? Granted, I
Bayek.
haven't finished it.
Bayek. We've
Here's-
talked about this one.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. They have a romance, but it doesn't feel romantic, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like what we're coming up with here is that the romances that we make ourselves, we can more easily attach to
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
we are the agent making it happen as opposed
Right.
to watching like a single player play out.
And we get to choose who we romance.
Yeah. So
Very
it's so we
attractive.
we have agency in the relationship.
Well, I also think what we're discovering through this discussion is that romance is something that video games has not articulated well. I think I've seen a ton of amazing romances across literature in novels and across movies and television. Romances on screen really displayed in a way that makes you feel something. But now that we're talking about like when we get down to like the nitty gritty, like we have ideas of romance, but what is a game series that has really shown what that romance looks like between two characters? And I keep going, the things that I keep thinking of are stories that involve a character, one of which who we don't see or hear from is like off screen or off camera, or one of which is dead. Right?
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
fair.
like all in like their romance is all in flashback or all in sequences where they're not involved. I think of a game like The Darkness 2.
Yeah.
You have like him flashing back to his romance and him trying to, you know, like avenge her in some way.
There are a lot of games that portray relationships in like a very intelligent way, like Catherine. I wouldn't call that a romantic game, but it like is a very, very honest, very open portrayal of someone struggling with, you know, fidelity, sexual love, romantic love, stability versus instability and excitement and whatnot. And I think that's a really powerful game because of it. And games like, you know, Wolfenstein 2, like we probably don't think about their relationship, but the first, well, not Wolfenstein 2, the first Wolfenstein, I think is the one before this one, was one of the smartest and most just like real and adult portrayals of a sexual relationship ever. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like the sex wasn't there for like shock value and like gratuity. It was there because it's like, these are these two people, they're going through something and this is what's happening. And I thought it was a very intelligent portrayal.
What about dating sims? Now, I'm not familiar with the genre. Do these games do romance well? I don't play them. Does anyone know?
I feel like they're made for niche. I have a friend who's very, 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 very into Otome games, which are romance games where you play as a female character that you write yourself onto. So she's super generic, and you pick all of her actions, and you have
It's like Twilight.
yeah, and you have this display of men that you have to romance or try to, again, say the right thing or do the right action to win points with them in the algorithm in order to get yourself to like a sexy situation with them. And in a lot of these games you can ping pong between them, so you can romance multiple ones, and some of them is like Mystic Messenger, which is really popular last year. There's like 7 guys and you play one track where you romance one guy successfully and then you play the game over and you get the next guy. And it's cool, but it's not romance in a sense that, again, like Steimer was saying earlier, it teaches you that like if you do A, B, and C correctly, you will get the relationship, or you will get the sex, or you will get the thing you're working for. And people are so much more complex. And I love what Mass Effect does and Dragon Age does, and the writing is really, really good. And I think they put a lot of believable reactions into your character when you're trying to romance them or when you're trying to, get them. But at the end of the day, it's still an algorithm, and people are way more complex than that.
What I liked that reminds me of in Witcher 3 a little bit, how so in a video game you're used to kind of being like, I can game the system, right? And I can do what I want. So when you do try to romance both Triss and Yennefer and the game backfires on you and basically gives you no one, and you die, you don't die alone, but like
funny.
you end up alone. And I'm like, thank God, like, because it would be such a shitty message to be like, oh, look, you got both of them. Good job. You've played both of these people perfectly. But I do also really, I mean, granted, the thing that bugs me about the Yennefer romance is only that she only showed up in 3. And so like you don't really get any relationship with her in the first 2 games. But otherwise I did really enjoy the relationship building between Geralt and Yennefer. Team Yen.
Team Yen. I remember there was a moment when who's the other lady you can bang? There's a few ladies.
Shani.
No, it wasn't Shani. It was the older woman. I think it was. She was I don't remember, but I was trying to romance Yen, and I somehow like was able to
just like you mean in a random side quest?
It was a side quest, but she was a familiar character with the franchise, I feel like, and I texted you like 15 text messages. I'm like, oh my God, I just banged so and so.
Oh God, yeah, the blonde witch.
Blonde. She was blonde. I don't remember her name.
Oh shit.
But I was so invested in that Yennefer romance.
Kira.
Because we had never seen her in any other games.
Kira.
And I slept with her, and I texted Steimer like 15 times. I'm like, oh my God, did I screw this up? Did I screw up my romance with Yennefer?
Yeah, you did. You were like, oh my God. And I was like, technically, I think it's fine, but I did not.
And it was fine. Yennefer forgave everything. And she's like, I don't care. Yeah. Video game romances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you consider, and I know I already know your answer before you say it, but I think it would be interesting to hear the discussion about it.
Okay.
As somebody who considers herself an outsider to this franchise, would you consider there to be romantic tendencies between Link and Zelda at all?
No.
Really?
I think
think
my
so.
gut reaction is,
I would think that
my
there
gut
was.
reaction is no, but based off everything that I've seen so far, like in the 2 or 3 Zelda games that I've played, it's not overt. It's not like we're in each other's arms kissing, like swooning over each other, but I feel like there's got to be something there, right? They're not like brother sister.
There's only one game where I believe there's anything plausible between them, and that's Skyward Sword, because it makes it very, very obvious that these 2 teenagers really, really like each other, and then the whole Link
But
and
that is
Zelda
the very
thing happens.
first like Zelda game, right?
That is the very
in the
first
timeline.
Zelda game.
So that kind of makes sense, I guess. And then I think they're just kind of doomed to the friend zone for the entirety of their existence after that.
But
What a
like, who
bleak
goes on the
existence.
fucking quest that Link goes on? For
Fucking
the
Mario!
friend zone?
Fucking Mario!
Mario does.
So okay, so the Zelda lore.
No,
Okay, that's fair.
Nintendo's like the saddest group of people.
Nintendo!
Oh no!
Nintendo teaches young women to just keep giving men tasks. Send them as far away as fucking possible and see if they come back like a boomerang.
At least
and guys are taught to keep
listen,
taking
at
those
least
goddamn quests.
Peach isn't like sending him on these tasks.
Amazing.
She's calling out for help. And like Mario could be like, I'm
She needs
busy,
better
bitch.
security.
Zelda's very demanding.
But like
She's
Zelda
very
is a whole
demanding.
different breed. Zelda's
True.
like, I got this thing. You got to go do this. You got to do this.
So
blah blah
The
blah.
unfortunate thing about Zelda is that you have like Skyward Sword and you have Zelda in the Links, and they, according to like Zelda lore, Alexa, correct me if I'm wrong, they continue to produce offspring. So like the Zeldas always produce Zeldas, and the Links
but not together.
not together, and the
I'm
Links
sorry,
always
what?
produce Links. And so every Zelda and every Link, I think,
Wait,
according
what?
Okay.
Did you just
Zelda-
you're like cloning themselves?
Zelda
I'm
is
confused.
Zelda is reincarnated in her own bloodline, and Link is reincarnated in his bloodline.
That doesn't mean they can't bang. It
This-
just means they won't have
but they
children.
don't.
But they don't. And
But
so
how do you
every
know?
Link and every Zelda you come across is like in the lineage of before Zeldas and Links.
This is weird.
It's
So
very
it's like
weird.
a cell and how
So
it
it's
just,
like their purpose.
springs up.
Every time a new Link and a new Zelda is reincarnated, whatever the fuck you want to call it,
Yeah.
their sole purpose is for her to get fucking kidnapped and for Link to save her.
Yes.
And her to ultimately somehow
she
save
kidnapped?
the world.
Yeah.
Ganon has a thing for her. It's kind of like the Bowser Peach thing.
Yeah. The Legend of Zelda lore is that Link and Zelda show up. They are reincarnated when the world needs them. When
So
Ganon
they're like
strikes.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl, kind of, in the reincarnation aspect.
Would you
Sure.
consider either of them those things?
What do you mean, reincarnated? Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Did you say? I thought you said hot man and hot girl.
Hawkman,
Hawkman.
and
What's
Hawkgirl.
Hawkman?
They're comic book characters.
Oh.
What's hot girl? Another character.
So basically, they're okay.
What is
You said-
happening?
listen, if I had to go down my fucking rabbit hole, so do you.
No. This is just it's just what like they go through life being reincarnated, and they're supposed to find each other just in order to like die. Anyways, it's a
Yeah.
different-
They Link and Zelda have to find each other because they have
And
to
Ganon
And
together.
for the
together.
record,
Ganon.
you said it like I'm supposed to know
not
who
Ganon.
the fuck Hawkman and
I
Hot Girl are.
figure I don't know why I thought you would,
No,
but
the
I
Ganon
knew
is
you
the
were
same
okay,
Ganon.
The Ganon is always the same.
Always
Ganon.
the same
Oh,
Ganon.
really?
Yes.
This doesn't make sense.
He gets reincarnated. That's why.
So that's why like
but
Link
it's not
and-
the same Ganon.
So
then.
then it wouldn't be the same Ganon. It would be the same way as the Link and
I mean,
No, it
Ganon-
is. So Ganon, Link, and Zelda all have a piece of the Triforce.
Right.
Okay.
And they
Power, wisdom.
and they keep getting Link and Zelda keep getting reincarnated when Ganon claws his way out
Out
of whatever
of-
dimensional hole he's been in
Right.
and gets reincarnated. They talk about it in Ocarina of Time with the one man
Mm-hmm.
born to the Gerudos, blah blah blah. So it's and that's why there's the timeline. Because in the branching timeline, because it's them and their actions and them and they keep coming back and they keep coming back.
Okay.
Right. So these two,
I guess.
Steimer are like, mm-hmm.
What?
there's no banging.
But
You know
they-
what?
Everyone
listen,
is
that doesn't mean
sterile
they
in
can't
Hyrule.
bang. It just means that they wouldn't reproduce.
Wait,
No,
first of all, Link
There's
doesn't
no
speak.
sex in Hyrule.
Link
Not
doesn't
allowed.
talk. Neither does
No,
Mario, I guess.
not allowed.
That's not true because the one girl definitely got those the fish girl got feelings for Link.
Oh, the fish people
Mifa.
love Link.
Mifa,
Mifa
yeah.
and
Princess
Mifa,
Ruto.
Ruto,
Princess
Paya.
Ruto.
If
Yep.
there was
Wait a
no
minute, wait a
sex
minute.
in Hyrule,
no,
they
oh
wouldn't
no,
be so
Alexis-
uppity when I didn't wear a shirt.
Wait. Mifa, Ruto, Paya. There's a little bit of suggestion in the DLC that Urbosa might have had romantic feelings for Zelda's mother. And then, oh my God, it's only the women are horny in Hyrule.
Look at the
That's because they
Gerudo
can't
race.
get any.
Yeah, it sounds
None
right.
of the men are providing.
Yeah, so
Also, all the men look like they're 12.
I
That
would
might
say
be
there's
the
like
difference.
That might be it.
I'd say there's like sexual tension between the two of them, if that, in certain circumstances, but that's it. And then they're like, oh crap, this isn't what we're supposed to do. And then they like ixnay. But if you go to
Ixnay
like
on the Uber
fanfiction.net, archive of our own, you'll find lots of fun fictional stories.
I would prefer
Midna,
to not.
too.
Midna. Oh,
I'm
Midna
good.
too.
So horny.
Oh yeah. Community has a lot of
Only
fun
women are
too.
horny in Hyrule.
Horny in Hyrule.
It's horny.
Horny in Hyrule.
Horny in Hyrule should be the name
Oh
of
my
a
God.
fanfiction blog.
That's my next book. I'm going to write a book about the no sex.
Why is there no sex in
Horny in
Hyrule?
Hyrule. Why there is no
I
sex
love
in the Legend of
it.
Zelda.
Oh my god, I love
They
it.
really need it. These people have issues.
It's true.
Just get laid and everything will be fine.
What if that was the message?
Could be.
Not a bad message.
Yeah, where's the the Triforce? It's three triangles. That middle triangle, is that like
Oh!
the Triforce of fucking, and it's been missing this whole time? The Triforce of
The Triforce
you
of
guys.
adult
I
relationship.
can't
the
even.
Triforce of horny has been missing for millennia, and that's why no one's getting laid.
Where do you think
Oh,
it would
we
be? Do you
figured
think
it
it'd be
out.
with one of those fairy people?
Oh,
Oh my
Lord.
God, one of those great fairies 100% stole the Triforce of fucking. And she's holding on
She's
to
holding on to it for dear life.
Now, have you heard the theory about the
it. No, go do it.
about the I
Hard
call it
pivot.
Hylian, but you might call it Hylian. I call it Hylian. Hylian sword.
Whoa.
Shield. And if you look on it, there's the bird crest. And
Yes.
a lot of people are saying that's Kapor Gabora, and he's holding the middle Triforce piece. If you look, there's like an upside down.
Yes, I've heard that
triangle.
before.
Okay.
That's the Triforce
That's
of
the
fucking.
Triforce of fucking.
That's why your shield is so powerful, because
Yep.
the Triforce of fucking is fucking
Yes!
protecting it.
That's absolutely correct. ladies
All
and
the
gentlemen.
sexual energy in all of Hyrule is trapped in your shield.
I think what we've learned over the course of this secret segment is
Everything
that we
is
need
different.
to get
Love
some
you.
more concrete, overt, in your face, amazing romances in the world of video games.
Yes.
And now this of course excludes like the user generated stuff, like or the ones where you have player agency, like Femshep and Liara, best romance of all time in my book. But I created that romance, right? So
You didn't. You didn't like write it.
well, okay. if we want to get
I'm just
fucking
saying,
technical,
I'm just
Steimer.
saying, like if I can pick Cullen, you could pick that.
Right, but my choices created that romance in that way through the character options that I selected during my playthrough, right? Like that's not the definitive romance of Mass Effect.
Sure.
Right?
That's fair.
Somebody else maybe has a definitive romance with Garrus, or maybe they have a definitive romance with
Garrus
Kaden,
is like
or
your friend.
whoever else is the person they picked. That's my point, Steimer. Oh my gosh. I'm going to fight you after
why
this.
Why are you so mad at me?
you're-
I'm not mad at you.
So you're considering more like a romance like Bayek and Aya, like something that you cannot control, but that is like fleshed out throughout the story.
Something that's a story. Yes. That's somebody.
What about?
It's the narrative that's written.
I'm just looking over at your game shelf, and I'm like, Gears of War. I mean, granted, it wasn't great, but like Dom and his wife. But that's more of like like you were saying, like a flashback storytelling.
Right? Like, so we don't really get to know Dom's wife. I mean, there is Marcus's romance with Anya, which could be argued as a great romance in video games, but I don't know if it was explored deep enough to really make an impact, at least not on me.
Yeah.
You know? I
Yeah.
just want, is it so wrong to have like a really good romance in a video game?
No.
Why do you think there's such a lack of them?
You know,
I think they don't. I don't know.
earlier I said the
Don't know how to write 'em.
Zidane Garnet dagger romance irritated me. It did because I was a young hormonal teenager and I really had a crush on Zidane and I took it way too personally. However, looking back upon it as like an adult, that's a pretty good romance story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you'll enjoy that one.
Actually,
if you play
like,
more of the game.
Final Fantasy has actually been pretty good about it. If you think about like 4,
Mm.
Rosa and Cecil, like they start the game in a relationship and it's them like going through the bumpy patches in their relationship and how they handle it as like adults.
So I should have just played more Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy series has some good romances.
Except for 8. 8, no.
that was a little awkward.
No.
I played most of 10.
We're in
10
space.
10 was a good one. But 10-2 was better because if you get the perfect ending.
Ha!
What?
That was me trying to be him
The haha.
laughing at really badly.
the
really bad laugh.
Yeah, the laugh meme. Have you seen that Final Fantasy X laugh meme where he's like, and it's really awkward?
And they're
No.
like, you should just laugh, and he's like, ha 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 ha. And you're
It's
just
bad.
like,
It's
what
bad
the
dub.
fuck
It's
is
really
going
bad.
on?
yeah.
We'll show you.
It's
Okay.
great.
It's weird.
Excellent. Final thoughts.
We couldn't even come up with a real list, could we?
No.
No.
The Triforce of fucking
Well,
is still out there, everyone.
I
You can find it.
had a list and then you shut it down.
The
What do you
Owl
mean?
Man has
I
Cold-hearted woman.
I do like the Guybrush and Elaine Marley, but it's not like super romantic. It's more of a spin on Mario Peach or Link Zelda in that she is the one constantly saving him even though he thinks he's saving her.
Hmm?
Like Guybrush always goes off to save
Mhm.
Elaine, but she's very self-sufficient and she's like ends up having to save him at the end.
Oh, that's
I
a
wish
first.
Peach would save Mario.
It'll
That'd be
happen one of
great.
these days.
One day.
Hopefully.
Probably not.
Maybe not.
Nah.
Yeah.
Mario's got to move on. I hear Daisy's available.
Ooh.
Or Space Peach. You can go talk to her.
Space Peach.
And on that note, we're going to put a pin in this conversation. Clearly, we must have missed one of your guys' favorite romances, something that we've overlooked. Let us know. Leave us a message on this Patreon post. Leave us a message in the YouTube comment section. Let us know what romances you love in video games or a romance that maybe you've thought of and you would like to see between some characters in one of your favorite franchises. Thank you so much for supporting us at patreon.com/whatsgoodgames. We love having you as part of our community, and we will be back next month with another secret segment for you. And until then, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.